You don't become a wife because you got married. You become a wife on.
What advice do you have for nurturing intimacy, romance, and connection for married couples, especially newlyweds? Because the excitement at the initial stage is always, and later on there's always this little ticks and whatever that, even in just dates and being, I'm not married yet, even just, the whole dating process and how that whole thing seems to, like, slightly, I don't know how to explain it. and,
Don't
and
worry, I
then
get
there,
it.
yeah, yeah,
How do we do it? There's a lot of intentionality. You have to be intentional about it. Romance doesn't just happen. There are people that are more romantic than others, but romance doesn't just happen. Intimacy doesn't just happen. And intimacy involves vulnerability, involves showing another person parts of you that you might not have shown anybody else. So there's vulnerability involved in intimacy. But more than anything else, intentionality is needed. So that means that as a married couple, you're going to be intentional about learning how to grow your intimacy. You're going to be intentional about when you learn how to grow your intimacy, you're going to apply what you learn in growing your intimacy. In growing your intimacy, you're going to be willing to try different ways to become intimate. And I don't just mean sexual intimacy now, I mean intimacy in its entirety. You will need to try to see what works for both of you as a couple. Remember that this is about both of you, it's not about just one person. So when it comes to even intimacy and growing close, and my husband is not as romantic as I am, but he's growing on the journey and he's making the effort. And when somebody makes an effort about something that is not even their natural space, encourage them, thank them, show them that you appreciate it. These are the kind of things that help it to grow even more. Because imagine every time my daughter comes to me and says, "Mommy, I love you so much." And I say to her, "Oh, Arabella, you're doing so well." Guess what? She blooms right in front of my eyes. It's almost like as if she said, "I want to show you that I can do it. I want to show you that, the thing you said, I'm doing more of it." It's
yeah.
really important to encourage people when they are making an effort in your relationship. But I also say go on things together that encourage your intimacy. One of the things that happens as you get married, and especially over the years, is that life happens. You start having children, life becomes busier, you have careers, you have businesses, you have ministries, whatever it is. You have your volunteering opportunities, you have personal development and personal growth. Can you see our lives become fuller and fuller every single day? For you to grow a relationship that's intimate, you have to almost say, in the midst of that, I'm going to assign X number of hours or X amount of time or specific times of the year when we go away. For example, my husband and I consistently have tried to go away to our church's couples retreat. Even if we don't go away on holiday that year, we always make the effort that at this point in the year, there is a 4-day weekend that we're going to have where it's going to be about just both of us. Those are the things that build intimacy. The people who organize it, the marriage ministry that organizes it, they keep saying to you, even the reason why we do these retreats is so you can actually focus on each other. But don't just do it once a year. Set aside time regularly to do it. Have regular date nights. And it's not going to always be easy, especially once you start having children. Hence why intentionality comes in, where you're going to say, okay, how are we going to make it happen? Okay, if we can't leave the house because maybe we can't afford to get a babysitter or we don't have any extra help, can we have an hour together after the kids go to bed? There is intentionality even behind that. Oh, we can't go to the cinema. Can we bring the cinema to ourselves? Can we put on a film on Netflix and grab some popcorn and a drink? There are ways around these things to ensure that you keep doing these activities that build intimacy and then learn. Make the effort to learn how to. Because something I said to a group of women yesterday was, you don't become a wife because you got married. You become a wife on the journey to marriage by what
Hmm.
you know and what you are doing. And that really matters even after you get married. So intentionality is key. Thinking of each other is key. and growing, personally growing in that area of intimacy is also key.